If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Now go download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And now back to Girl Down Podcast with me, Aeon. You're listening to a new episode of Girl Down Podcast with your host, me, Aeon. So sit back, relax, and listen as I unpack the uncertainty of my 30s, one episode at a time. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Girl Down Podcast with me, Aeon. And today I want to talk about being fat. Being fat, no acronyms, not pretty hot and tasty or something fabulous and thick, or just the place where I am at with my weight, with my size, how I present to the world, and just the daily practice that I'm trying to cultivate to the practice that I'm trying to cultivate to be loving to my body, to be tender and gentle to my body, no matter what shape I'm in, no matter what the thing says on the scale when I go to the doctors, knowing that I am beautiful, that I am valid, that I am healthy in my body, that I have a health practice, and not trying to conform it or contort it to be desirable, because for me that's not where it's at. So I would say pre-transition, from about like a child to pre-transition, when I transitioned at 19, weight has kind of always been a thing. Like, I wasn't obese or anything, but I was always chunky. And though my weight has fluctuated up and down, I have kind of always been on the thicker side. Like, I think I'm trying to remember the sizes when I before transition. I think I wore like a 36, 38, if that means anything to any of y'all. And when I transitioned and when I got on hormones, of course, that drastically um, changed my weight. So I've gained a lot more weight once I transitioned and once I grew breast, and just your metabolism, your eating habits change. And then when I got cancer in 2018 and I wasn't able to move how I used to because of the chemo and just the different pains and me trying to first heal my body and then get used to my body and going through the pains of that caused me to gain weight. And I don't know, it's kind of a double-edged sword, being a woman and navigating as a woman, because I do feel like there are spaces where I can be heavier, I can be larger, which contributes to me appearing more cis or getting through as a cis woman, because cis women, particularly black cis women, we can be heavier, we are more shapelier, and my weight has been something that I can use to my advantage. But um, like, health wise, diabetes does run through my family, and especially once I got my cancer diagnosis and I overcame cancer, I've really been trying to be more health conscious with the things that I put into my body, and just being more present in my body, having more, just being more present in my body, just being present in my body, not being tired from moving, being able to move, being able to stand up, to be able to dance, and not being tired. And I don't know, just with my weight right now. So those of you who followed my last podcast, Box Number 512 podcast, I openly discussed how at the top of 2021, I had a health scare with diabetes, and that scare caused me to. I used to be somebody that used to drink a lot of juice and stuff, and I cut that out my diet. I mainly drink water. Like, I have juice from time to time, but it's only when I go out or when I order something. But as far as in the house, I only have water. And I've also started a process where I work out like 2 to 3 times a week, and that has been really great for me. That's been really good for me. I think this is the most like active I've been ever since I've been an adult, which is good. And working out is good. But it's somebody that is trying to monitor their health and trying to monitor their weight, and not trying to have like a dramatic weight loss, but am trying to, lose a couple of pounds here and there. Um, I teeter totter on this balance of um, intentionally working out to be healthy, to keep a practice, but I don't want to punish myself. Like, I don't want to be like, you need to work every day because you're overweight and you have to get down to this type of size where you fit into clothes, and you'll be able to do this or look like this. Like, it's a bad, to me. I'm still working on maintaining a balance, because I had so many years. I always say this. I feel like I suffered from body dysmorphia more than I did gender dysmorphia, because we're fed so many messages of thinner is better, or being thinner, a thinner body person gets you more access and makes you more desirable, and that's something that I have struggled with. Even before I transitioned, I remember I would always be the butch queen that would go in the store and go to H&M and buy the clothes that I knew were too small, but hoping, well, I'll just lose the weight and I'll fit into the clothes because I wanted to be in the fashionable clothes, buying the too small stuff, just hoping and praying that I would lose enough weight so I could fit into it. And not really buying clothes for my size, or buying clothes that physically I felt comfortable in. And I say those things to say that even on with this awareness, with me to be more active and be more healthy, and I intentionally don't classify it as a quote unquote weight loss journey, because the goal for me is not to lose weight. The goal for me is to be more present in my body. Um, I intentionally remember those experiences and remember those triggers to make sure that in my quest to be more active, that I'm not operating from a place that I need to punish myself to lose this weight so I can fit into these clothes, or so I can be this arbitrary size. Because the assumption is, if I'm smaller, then life is going to look a certain way for me. And me intrinsically, that means that my life isn't good right now. And I just know that's not the case. I also think about my relationship to food. Now, after chemo and everything, I ain't gonna lie, when I was still in Chicago, I was going kind of crazy. I was going ham. I was eating a lot of things like out of comfort because I was in so much pain. And going back to my mindset, that kind of, because I was in so much physical pain, I gave my permission to just eat whatever I want to kind of compensate for not only the physical pain, but just the mental pain of just what you go through when you're diagnosed with your cancer and your life is turned upside down and you have to cope. But now I'm a couple of years into remission, and I went through a shift where, okay, I'm not in pain as much anymore. So what is the reason that I'm really really binging or eating this food, and how can we change that? But also in doing that, um something that I've really been conscious of, in addition to the active thing, I like food. I like food. I like the way that things taste. I like when I cook my food. I like things to be seasoned. Like I like food. So I don't think I'm necessary. Well, I've changed my diet with some things, but the main thing that I've changed is that I do incorporate a lot of fresh food into the things that I like to eat or the things I like to make, mainly vegetables. So for me, it's about being fat or whatever. It's about having a healthy and balanced relationship with my body, in the food I eat, where I'm loving myself where I'm at. I'm not depriving myself to punish myself, because food should be good. Food should be fun. Food should be tasty. And I'm not the type, I'm not like the crash type of diet type of girl, or we're gonna eat all this nasty stuff. Because to me, I like to eat food now. I do believe in portion control, and I do believe in like listening to my body when I'm physically full. But I don't know. I don't want to punish myself because I have a bigger body or because I'm fat. And also, I don't want to I don't want to placate my fatness, because sometimes when I identify as a fat person, you can just see the grimacing in people's face, like, oh, she's calling herself a fat person. Like, no, it's a fat. I'm fat, and I'm comfortable with that. And I say fat because it colors how I see the world. It colors how the world responds to me. How I show up, and it's very important that I call that out, and I don't try to euphemize it, or make it something that it isn't, or make it something that it's not. I'm a fat person, but I'm still worthy of the love. I'm still worthy of the protection. I still deserve to be here. I still deserve to take up space. I deserve to be able to move in my body and to feel comfortable in my body. I deserve to eat good food. I'm not going to deprive my. And for me, it's not only about eating good food. It's about switching stuff up and making sure I taste different things. Making sure that I'm cooking my own food, and like I said, I'm incorporating vegetables and other types of stuff into my food. Now I am conscious of carbohydrates and stuff like that. Like, I'm always mindful, like, how many carbs is in this, but not like obsessively counting, like, oh bitch, how many calories. Like, girl, I'm not doing that. I definitely am into my water. I feel like ever since that I gave up drinking a whole bunch of juice and I just drink water, it makes food taste much better for me, because I don't really have that clash. But I'm just today, I'm just really in a good place with my body. I want to see other images, like other. I think it comes down to like the decolonization of my mind, and just realizing that a lot of the images that we're fed from, like, movies to song, like, just in the world, it really teaches us to have like an unrealistic expectation of what bodies should look like, and how bodies should show up in the world. And I really love this journey that I'm on, really rejecting that stuff and giving myself permission to love myself, and giving my body permission to do what it's supposed to do, unencumbered by societal restrictions and judgment, and just being, and just letting people that want to be here along with me for the ride be here. And it means me loving other bodies, loving other fat bodies, loving other fat. Y'all know I love a big nigga. I love realistic bodies. Now, no shade, I'm still gonna get my BBL, because I like my body. I want a little bit more shape. But like, even with my surgery journey that I'm going to be on, I still want it to be for me. Like, I want my work to be like. Of course, it's going. You can tell work is going to get done. But I want my body to do what it's going to do with the work, right? Like after I get my work, I'm still going to be a big bitch, and that's okay. That's okay. But that's just I don't know what direction I went in, but that's my little diatribe. Just about me being fat and just about me accepting it and not punishing myself. I'm just not gonna punish myself. So I will see y'all next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to another episode of Girl Down Podcast with me, Aeon. If you like the show, please be sure to go on over to Apple Podcasts and rate and review this podcast. Also, make sure that you're engaging with me on social media. Also, if you have any inquiries or you want to send me any questions, be sure to email me at girldownpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, bye y'all.